and welcome to another Rivals of Ixalan Draft League. This is Old Man Poole. We've opened up kind of an interesting pack here. I don't think our rare Tomb Robber is particularly exciting. I don't think it's a bad card, but I don't think it's a particularly early pick either. A 1-1 Menace, even with the ability to kind of fix your draws in the late game, is kind of slow and not particularly exciting. We have a couple of different directions I think we can take. So we have two good uncommons, Deadeye Brawler, Sadistic Sky Marcher. Riverwise Augur is good, but I think in a lower category than either of those. And Bombard, which is also quite a very, very good first pick. I do think I picked Bombard first a lot, notably over Huatli in our last draft, which was maybe not the correct, well, it was probably the correct pick, but maybe not the fun pick. I think I'm actually going to take Deadeye Brawler here and try and jam a Ascend deck. I really haven't ever been able to make this deck come together. I think Deadeye Brawler is one of the better pickups in that. Bombard, I guess, would be pretty solid in that as well, but let's take the Deadeye Brawler. I haven't played a blue-black since very, very early. It might have been my first draft in the format, actually, even. So this is a good thing to think about. Now, we did get past a Legion's Lieutenant, which is very tempting. The Vampires decks are, I think, one of the better, stronger decks in the format, and Legion's Lieutenant is great in those. We've got Sea Red, which I think is good, but a little bit lower in power level. I've been impressed by Buccaneer's Bravado. Deadeye Rig Huller's good. Everything else here is kind of mediocre. I think I'm going to take the Legion Lieutenant. Obviously does not work in the same deck as Deadeye Brawler would, but these are two good fillers into, I think, pretty good decks. Deadeye Brawler really is at its most exciting when nobody else is in the deck and you can pick up late Snubhorn Sentries and the like, but it is a cool card, certainly. I'm probably going to take Exultant Sky Marcher out of this pack. Blood Sun really doesn't do all that much. Once in a while, I mean, this is a good sideboard card, but not very exciting. Crashing Tide's good in Merfolk, but nothing else here is as exciting as the Sky Marcher. Ooh, and a third pick Alendra? Sorry, Deadeye Brawler. I mean, I think we just gotta shift into Vampires. That's gotta be a little bit of a signal. Alendra's not an absolute bomb, but it is a pull into Black-White. I can understand why people wouldn't pick it first or even second, because you're not necessarily going to be Black-White and you don't want to commit super early. Like, I would take a Legion's Lieutenant over Alendra, I think, in the Vampires deck, but Alendra's still very good. I also like Dusk Legion Zealot. Forerunner of the Empire is super solid. If we'd taken the Bombard, we probably would have tried to pick that up, but let's take our Mythic here. So, an interesting choice here between Dusk Legion Zealot and Forsaken Sanctuary. I think I'm actually going to take the Zealot. I want to cut Vampires as hard as I can here, and I think we're getting past some reasonable picks here. This was, I guess, second, third, and fourth picks, respectively. So I think that Vampires are going to be open coming this direction, but I'd really like to keep anyone that I'm passing to from going into Vampires as well. So Forsaken Sanctuary is good, but I think I'm just going to take the Zealot here, which is a very good card as well. Okay, an interesting choice here. I think made this decision in the very last draft we did too. Squire's Devotion versus Legion Conquistador. I think I'm still on the Squire's Devotion train. Conquistador is pretty good, obviously. This is one of those cards that if you pass, you really are unlikely to be able to take advantage of them later, but Squire's Devotion is pretty powerful, I think. Okay, we're running a little bit more dry now. I think the best card in this pack is Mutiny. We think we've got, I mean, Dust Charger's fine, but not particularly synergistic. We've got Traveler's Amulet and Vampire Revenant. Would we rather have a Revenant? I'm happy to play these cards, even though sometimes you have to sideboard them out if your opponent's playing lots of, dual shots or Forerunner of the Legion. They can be pretty embarrassing. Traveler's Amulet's nice for splashing, though. I wonder if we'll get that Evolving Wilds back. Can't remember what else is in that pack. Probably should have paid a little bit more attention. I think I'm going to take the Revenant. I think it's kind of close there. There's a lot of the time when you pick up a Traveler Amulet, it just doesn't do all that much for you, but the upside is very, very high if you get something you want to be able to splash. So now we've got Fathomfleet Border versus Dark Inquiry. Dark Inquiry is a nice sideboard card. Fathomfleet Border is better just on its own. I think we're going to take the Border here still. I think you can usually pick up Inquiries later. This isn't a card we're hoping to play in Vampires, but it's fine. Ooh, man. So Tomb Raider did come back. I still don't think it's really what we want, though. There's another Squire's Devotion. I think I'm probably just going to pick this. Yeah. You don't want too many of these. I think 2 is about as many as I would like to play, but 2 is pretty good. And take Dark Inquiry over Grasping Scoundrel. Don't think Scoundrel's all that fantastic, even if you're very aggressive. Okay, and we got a Traveler's Amulet here as well. Divine Verdict this late is a great pickup for us. We're a little bit lacking on removal right now. Black-White frequently can pick up some later on, but Verdict's great. And a Cleansing Ray for the sideboard. Yeah, I think we're definitely in an open color pair. The third pick, Alendra, while not being... like, I can see justifiable picks over it, was a bit of a signal, and I think that we're being rewarded here for the early Legion's Lieutenant and Alendra. We need to pick up a few more just vampires, a couple of Exultant Sky Marchers, things like Sanguine Glorifier. What do we want out of this pack? None of the really high picks are in our colors. Crescent Herd color's good, Direfleet Daredevil's good, Sailor of Memes would have been cool if we had tried to go for that deck, although it didn't seem crazy open. I do like a Moment of Triumph quite a bit, probably better than Sanguine Glorifier. I think that's the pickup out of this pack. I do like Glorifier a lot, but having at least one of these cards is very nice. Okay, I think Impale is just better than the Sky Marcher. I have been very impressed with this card. I don't think it's very likely we'll wheel it, but Impale is just nice unconditional removal. Hard to pass that up. Forerunner of the Heralds is obviously great, so is Thrashing Brontodon, but we're a ways away from those. We are a little bit light on just creatures proper here, especially given that we don't really want to play Fathom Fleet Border, so we would like to pick up more vampires. There's a Conquistador. The other one didn't wheel, so I'm pretty sure someone will be happy to snap that up. Even though I said we do need more creatures, Moment of Craving I think is still the best pick out of this pack. Just a very, very solid removal spell. Very, very efficient. Doesn't look like we're going to get any Famished Paladins at this point, which are one of the things that make Moment of Craving very good, but... It's another Squire's Devotion. They are worse in multiples, and a lot worse when you don't have that many creatures. I hate taking Recover over it, though. I don't think it's likely we're ever going to use a third Squire's Devotion, though. It's just too much. So I guess we'll take Recover, even though it's not exciting. And not feeling like we're getting as hooked up this direction. Although a lot of that might just be how the packs have been opened as well. I think we did do a pretty good job of cutting vampires. If somebody was in on it, they must have really picked up a bomb early. Alright, well, we got another Exultant Sky Marcher here. I think I'm still going to take it over Forsaken Sanctuary and Arterial Flow, but those are both fine. Divine Verdict's good too, but we need a little bit less now that we have an Impale and a Moment of Craving. But we'll take as many Sky Marchers as we can get, I think. Ooh, and Sadistic Sky Marcher's also great. I, again, wouldn't mind picking up another Moment of Triumph, but we've got one, and Sadistic Sky Marcher is a real nice payoff if you're in the Vampires deck. I think I take it back. I think those first couple of packs were just maybe not fantastic for us, but I do feel like we're getting some good late cards here. I think Vampire Revenant over Second Cleansing Ray. This is like a fantastic sideboard card if we're playing in the mirror, but outside of that, we may just need some more creatures, and Revenant's not bad. Sanguine Glorifier, I think over Forerunner of the Coalition here. We're really gonna try and go deep on the vampire synergies, given the fact that we have Legion, Sky Marcher, or Legion Lieutenant and Sadistic Sky Marcher. I do like Forerunner of the Coalition, it's a good card, but I'm gonna take the Glorifier here. Okay, and another Glorifier. We're getting a little bit heavy on 4s. I think it's still better to take this than the Snowborn Sentry, but our curve is kind of high. You see this nice, it's not a curve, it's more of a ramp. With that in mind, I guess I'll take Gleaming Barrier. Not something we're hoping to play, but sometimes you have to. Okay, Dinosaur Hunter's not a bad pickup. Would obviously rather have more 2-drop vampires, but it'll do in a pinch. Nothing exciting here, I guess I'll take the Armasaur. Okay, Arterial Flow did come around. I'm not sure this will make our deck, given that we look like we're a little bit slower on the curve, but Arterial Flow is, it's a playable card. We would not be unhappy to have it. Yeah, this deck's looking pretty solid. I'm pretty happy about it. Alright, Skyblade of the Legion versus Dark Nourishment. There's some other great cards, Rigging Runner, Savage Stomp, Tianali's Knight. But I think this is the pickups for us. I do like me a Dark Nourishment a lot, but I think this deck might just want Skyblade of the Legion a little bit more. This is a very good defensive vampire, turns into a real threat if we have something like Legion's Lieutenant, and we do just need some more 2-drops. I think we're okay on the top end and on removal. So even though Dark Nourishment definitely would make the deck, I think Skyblade is more we need right now. I don't think we can really guarantee either of those coming back around for us. Well, we could have had 3 Legion Conquistadors, but not going to be the draft for that. So this is between Seeker Squire and Vanquish the Weak. I think we are going to take Vanquish the Weak. We have 4 2-drops now. We're not looking quite as bad on that. And Vanquish is a pretty good removal spell. Seeker Squire obviously would be very playable. It's better than something like Dinosaur Hunter, but I like Vanquish the Weak too. Ooh, Arguel's Bloodfast. I guess it's kind of sweet with the Squire's Devotions. I am a sucker for this card. I think I probably think it's better than it actually is. We're not going to get it back, though, either. Should I just play Queen's Commission? Not sure we're going to get a Anointed Deacon at this point. It's just a little bit unfortunate. That's one of the things this deck really does want. It makes Queen's Commission a lot better. Probably not going to get a Pirate's Cutlass either. Maybe the Bloodfast is just the pick. Can I justify this? Yeah, we can. It's probably not as good as something like Queen's Commission or even Shining Aerosaur. The Bloodfast is just so sweet. How can you not? It draws you so many cards. Well, speak of the devil. Pirate's Cutlass is a great pickup. Means that Queen's Commission probably was better. I wouldn't mind a Slash of Talons or a Heartskitter in this deck too, but Cutlass is nice. We're so low on creatures though too. That probably was just a bad pick. It's so cool though. Ooh, a lot of good stuff here. Another Legion's Conquistador. I think that we're going to take the Skymarch Bloodletter over Queen's Commission or Paladin the Bloodstained, although I do like both of those cards. Bloodletter is just pretty good. Still would love to see even just like a Queen's Base Soldier, 1 or 2 cheap 2-drops, and maybe even another trick. Oh, Wanted Scoundrels counts. Not a vampire, but it's a pretty good card. It's something that maybe you have to sideboard out in some matchups because when they do have something like Lightning Strike, you get truly brutalized, but if they don't, Wanted Scoundrels can kick some teeth in. Yes, Desperate Castaways over Costly Plunder. Yeah, I think we're going to want an extra 2-drop more often than we want Costly Plunder, although we're probably hoping to play neither. Yeah, I think this deck is... I mean, Pirate's Cutlass was a really nice pickup, but I think we're kind of 1 card short of it being great, and that card has got to be Anointed Deacon. Demystify, we already have a Cleansing Ray. I think we're going to take Looming Altasaur. This is a pretty good blanking card against some decks. That's a late Tianali's Night. Okay, Queen's Agent we actually might need just as a kind of a top-end finisher. Encampment Keeper or Direfleet Interloper? I guess Encampment Keeper, probably. Again, I think these are sideboard. I think that the Interloper's worse than all of our other 4-drops. So yeah, the plan might just be to try and kill our opponents in the air, honestly. We have a pretty good air force and some good equipment and enchantments to stick on top of them. And Arguel's Bloodfast. I guess this is probably a sideboard card, right? Alright. It's just so bad against some decks, like when you're getting beat down by an aggressive deck and you really just need to draw, like, your Vanquish the Weak or something, and you draw the Bloodfast, it feels so bad. Running good. Well, someone didn't take it. That's kind of surprising. I wonder what they took over it. I don't think it's going to make our deck. We could have had 4 Conquistadors, though. Kind of a lot. That is a lot of value. They're just 2/2s, but that is a lot of value. Alright, so we're by our converted mana cost and group our creatures out. I think this deck does look pretty solid. 2 Squire's Devotion. I think that's not too many. Pirate's Cutlass and Squire Devotion all kind of do the same thing for us. We could cut Queen's Agent and maybe bring in 1 more cheap card and actually play 16 lands, which is probably nice. Like I said, anytime I can get away with 16, I love playing 16. I don't really know what we'd play, though. And these are very exciting. I guess maybe the Desperate Castaway is just another reasonable defensive card. Keep us alive early while the flyers start getting in there. Kind of like that. Let's maybe cut Queen's Agent, bring in the Castaways, and just say, hey, we've got a lot of good removal. We've got some reasonable cards on the ground. Stinging Glorifier can pump up one of our 6 flyers, or 7 flyers. Things like Squire's Devotion might get there too. I feel like this deck's got a pretty solid game plan. It's a little bit less token-based than a lot of the Vampires decks, but I mean, black-white flyers sounds like an archetype to me. Let's add in our lands, and I think we're just going to go 8 and 8. We are a little bit heavier on black, especially early on, but we want double white for the Exultant Sky Marcher. 8 and 8 seems good. Alright, yeah, I really can't complain about the deck. In a perfect world, we would have picked up maybe Anointed Deacon, maybe a couple more 2-drop Vampires, but yeah, this looks really solid to me. I will see you guys for match 1.